Yo, what's up, guys? We just got done with the last UFC event for 2025, and I'm going to be going through every single fight, what happened, and just a overall recap of the card. So let's get straight into it. And with the first early prelim of the night, we had Jamie Lynn Horth versus Teresa Bleda, and this was a bad performance by Teresa Bleda, especially after being off for 2.5 years. So maybe it's like ring rust or something, but the fight started. Blada was going for the takedown. She was trying to get them, but Jamie Lynn Horth looked strong in there. She was able to stuff the takedowns. And then after like a clinch, they broke off and Horth landed like a nice, I think it was a left hand or maybe a right, I don't know, straight to Blada's chin. And she started like wobbling around, trying to like run around, just trying to survive. And Horth just followed up with more shots. And then Blada ended up just falling down. This is a great round one knockout for Horth. And maybe it was a layoff, but Blada did not look good in there. And then the next fight, we had Golmir Pat and Alan Fry. And Alan Fry is definitely not UFC level at all. Golmir Pat, he did look, he did look pretty good. His striking was really clean, but I think he just looked good because of how bad Alan Fry was on the feet. Um, when the fight was standing, Golmir Pat was landing the way heavier shots. And Alan Fry would try to go for the takedowns, but it would just get stuffed. But yeah, Golmir Pat, no, sorry, Alan Fry was a mess after the fight, all bloodied up. So I don't think he's gonna go far in UFC at all. Alan Fry, if he gets another fight, Golmir Pat, he could. I'm not sure. It's still too early to tell, just because he versus Alan Fry, which was very low level competition still. But I mean, he did look impressive in this fight. He does have really clean striking, and the speed advantage he had in this fight was super noticeable. And this guy's huge and is in great shape too. So we'll see how he is in UFC. But I don't know, I'm not too high on this guy yet. I don't think he has any hype or anything, but we'll see in his next few fights. But this was a good decision win. He dominated all 3 rounds. I think it was 30-27 across all the scorecards, which it should have been. So I mean, it was a good performance for him in this matchup and a good win. And then we had Luana Santos taking on Melissa Croden, and Melissa Croden was landing on the feet. She was the faster striker, but when Luana Santos would get a hold of her, she was doing these really nice like judo throws, and that is what won her the fight. Because when she get Croden down, um, she would just control her for like the whole time. Like Croden couldn't get up. Like in the third round, I think it was 1-1 going to that third round, and maybe like a minute in or a minute and a half in, Luana Santos got like a it's like from a headlock position kind of where and she was used like a judo throw and just tossed her down and got like straight into like side control almost and was just held Melissa Croden there the whole fight. Croden could not get up. Santos did go first submission attempt. I think at the end of the second or the first round it was a leg lock or heel hook. Not much threat though, but other than that, not much really happened in the fight other than the takedowns and a little bit of striking, I guess you could say. But Luana Santos clearly won this fight 29-28. Um, so this was a good win because I did see a lot of people on the side of Melissa Croden in this matchup. But Santos's judo and jiu-jitsu won her this fight. So this was a good win. I think she's like 5-1 in the UFC now. So maybe she'll fight someone higher ranked up and maybe get in on the top 15 in 2026. So yeah, we'll see. But this was a good win for Luana Santos. And then we had a clash of heavyweights between Steven Asplund and Sean Shroff. And this one is this one a little bit longer than I expected, but this was a great fight. Like they were going back and forth. These guys. Steven Asplund landed 170 significant strikes in 8 minutes of this fight. Like it was a second round knockout. Maybe 4 minutes into that round, So in like 9 minutes, this guy got 170 significant strikes, and I think that was a record for a heavyweight 3-round fight. And it didn't even go 3 rounds either. And Sean Sharaf landed 66 significant strikes. Um, he tried to go for one takedown attempt, but it did not work at all. That was just when he was hurt. But this was a great debut by Steven Asplund. He cut Sean Sharaf open pretty bad. Honestly, there's a ton of blood leaking, and Sean Sharaf is durable, man. Like this guy did not go down. He didn't go down against Hoffa. It was just both standing knockouts, but Steven Asplund was putting it on him in the second round when Sean Sharaf started to gas, and Steven Asplund has a gas tank. We know that, and he was just peppering him, just shot after shot. Didn't really get Sean a chance to recover at all. So this was the ideal debut for Steven Asplund. Like he went through some adversity, but he fought through and absolutely butchered Sean Sharaf. So this is a great second round knockout for the debuting Steven Asplund. Great win for him. I don't know what's next for Sean Sharaf. Maybe he'll get one more fight in the UFC. I'm not sure, but this dude's entertaining. This was an entertaining fight, but a great knockout for Steven Asplund. Okay, next up was supposed to be Neil Magny and Almasov, but the belt order switched. I'm not sure why. So the next fight was Joe Anderson Brito taking on Isaac Thompson. And this Isaac Thompson dude does have a lot of potential. He was keeping up with Joe Anderson Brito for like the first round and a half until he started to slowly fade. And mind you, but he took this fight on like 4 days notice. Um, this fight was very entertaining. It was going back and forth and scrambling. One guy was on top. Oh, the next second it gets reversed. The other guy's on top. Joe Anderson Brito had 2 submission attempts. I think he went for a Darce, and I can't remember what the other one was. But Isaac Thompson outstruck him in total strikes from 127 to 66. This guy, I'm pretty sure at one point he almost knocked down. I don't know if it scored a knockdown, but maybe it was just a trip from Brito after Thompson hit him. But it looked like he knocked down Brito, I think in the first round or the second round. But Isaac Thompson is definitely one to watch. He is clearly skilled in there, and he put up a fight against Jonas Brito on 4 days' notice. And I'm excited for this Thompson guy. I think he's definitely going to be he's definitely going to get a couple wins in the UFC. So I think they're going to give him a winnable fight in his next outing. So, but this was also a good fight for Brito too. It was battle tested, but he also got back in the win column, which is good. So I'm excited for both these guys because they're both gonna move forward from here, and it helps out both these guys. Isaac putting up a fight with Brito and Brito getting the win. So, but this was a clear win for Brito, 29-28, winning. I think he won the second and third round, and because Isaac Thompson started pretty fast until he started to slowly fade. But other than that, this was an entertaining fight and a good Joe Anderson Brito unanimous decision win, 29-28. And then we had Neil Magny taking on Yaroslav Almasov, and this ended in the first round for Almasov by submission. And there's a little bit of striking, not much going on the striking, and then Almasov got the takedown when he went for it, got into side control, I think it was, and then he had to clean like a very clean transition into an anaconda choke. Like I said in my prediction video, actually, I predicted like a Darce or anaconda because this dude's front chokes are very, very smooth and high level. And I think this was a great performance by Almasov, showcasing his grappling. And I think he is UFC level, and I definitely think he's going to be able to get a couple wins in the UFC, maybe making the top 15. And Neil Magny, um, not much to say about him. He's like the biggest gatekeeper of all time, but a good win, getting past the gatekeeper test of Neil Magny. So, and finishing him in the first round too, which was good. Almasov has a crazy record of 29 wins and 1 loss. Like that is insane. And this is a great performance, great first round submission win, very smooth transition, and couldn't have gone better, I don't think. So this is a great first round submission for Yaroslav Amosov. And then we had Bobby Green taking on Lance Gibson Jr. And this was a pretty good fight. Not it could have been better, but it could have been way worse. King Green was trash talking Lance Gibson Jr. like the whole time. And it was pretty funny to see, honestly. But Bobby Green was just King Green, sorry, with his new name change, whatever, but was just walking him down the whole fight, hands just by his waist, not caring about anything, just like shoulder shrugging around, literally the whole time. But he was piecing up Lance Gibson Jr. Um, Bobby outstruck him by like 35, and Bobby actually got a takedown of his own. I think near the end of the third round, and started landing ground and pound, which is don't really see from Bobby much. But Lance Gibson Jr. is not UFC level. This was a split decision. I am not sure how or why. Bobby Green clearly won this fight. And that was definitely not a split decision. I don't know how you could give that to Lance Gibson Jr. But I don't know. Maybe Lance would get another fight in the UFC, but I don't think he's not gonna make it far. But this was a pretty good win for Bobby Green, I guess. Like it got him in the win column, but it's not against high level competition. But Bobby Green did win this fight. I thought it was supposed to be a unanimous decision, but they gave it split decision. But overall, Bobby Green was just outboxing him the whole time, and yeah, that's pretty much how it went. Just walking him down, trash talking the whole time. Lance Gibson Jr. was just getting a little irritated, maybe a little frustrated, not being able to find his range. But good one for Bobby Green or King Green. There, I said it again, same thing. But whatever, good win for King Green. And this fight was Kennedy and Zekachuku, whatever you want to say his name, versus Marcus Buchecha. And this fight is a draw. Okay, in the first round, Kennedy, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Kennedy was losing the first round until like the last maybe I don't know 30 seconds. He hurt Buchecha where he kind of just like just laid down on his back, like just sitting on guard, and Kennedy was laying some ground and pound. And I think that's what won him the first round. And in the second round, Kennedy eye pokes Marcus Buchecha, gets a point taken away, and then Buchecha won that round. But I think Buchecha definitely could have got a finish that round. He had full mount on Kennedy with like a minute to go, and he was throwing ground and pound like every 5 seconds. He was throwing one strike. Like but I don't know. I don't know what was going through his mind. Maybe conserving energy or something. But if you say wings, well, I don't know. But he definitely could have got the finish. Like he started throwing heavy like in the last 10 seconds, and it looks like he was about to finish Kennedy. So I think he definitely could have got a finish if he really wanted to. And then the third round, it was just a lot of rolling around on the ground, and then Kennedy was just somehow ended up on top, just letting ground and pound and stuffing the takedowns. Marcus went 3 for 13 on takedowns. It definitely felt like he got more takedowns when I was watching the fight, but I don't know. So Kennedy won the first round. Then there was a 10-8 in the second round for Marcus, and then Kennedy won the third round. So it was 28-28 on all three judges' scorecards. Like this fight could not have gone yeah, but I mean it was kind of entertaining, I guess, but it was definitely weird to see a draw on this card, but overall, not the best luck for both these guys, really. But it is what it is. So I don't think both these guys go far at all in the UFC. They're definitely just gonna stay mid tier guys. No one's gonna make it in the top 15. But yeah, it's whatever. And then we had a fight between Melquizo Acosta and Morgan Charriere. And if you saw my shorts that I posted, like the YouTube shorts, I was talking about how Melquizo Acosta is the most slept on fighter on this card, and he really proved that. This guy's on like a 5-fight win streak now, I think. Yeah, 5-fight win streak. 4 fights in 2024. I mean 2025. 4 fights this year, and against Charriere, this guy put him out cold, like cold. Like it was maybe a minute and 14 seconds into the fight. He just threw a left high kick, Charrier tried to block with one hand. He just went out stiff, looking at the stars. This was a breakout performance for Marquez Costa, his first knockout win in the UFC, and by fashion. This guy's going to be a problem in 2026, I'm telling you guys now. But I don't know what's next for Charrier. He had a lot of hype, but I really don't think he's that skilled of a fighter. He's good striking, but I just don't think I think there's much better guys than him. But man, did Marquez Costa come out this fight. He really proved something. So can't wait to see what's next for Marquez Costa. But this was a great. If you have not seen the highlight, you have to go check it out. The head kick, the sound it made sounded like a gunshot, bro. It was insane win, insane knockout from Marquez Costa, round 1 in the first minute and a half. Great win for Marquez Costa. And then we had Cesar Oleksiejczuk for taking on Cesar Almeida. Cesar Oleksiejczuk, obviously the brother of Mikel Oleksiejczuk. And I really thought this fight was going to be a little different. Cesar really showed off his grappling skills with 11 minutes of control time. He went 6 for 7. Oh my, 6. That was no pun intended. He went for 6 out of 7 takedowns. He got 11 minutes of control time. Hit 113 total strikes, but only 14 significant. And Cesar really cannot do much this fight. Not much striking was really happening. If Cesar overextended, Cesare Oleksiejczuk would just go for the takedown. He'd get it with ease, and Cesar would just be on his back. Most of this fight was just in half guard by Cesare, or side control, but not much advancements on the ground or anything. I really thought Cesare was going to show off his striking and maybe get a finish over Cesar Almeida, but I mean, he got the win. It was a smart game plan to take down Cesar Almeida, who is a world class kickboxer, but it was just not the most entertaining. But it was technical, and it was the right way for Cesare to approach this fight. I mean, 27 across three judges, all three judges scorecards. So he clearly won the fight. He's just not the best for like the fans, but he got the job done. I'm excited to see who he fights next. If he fights someone maybe with lesser striking than Cesar Almeida, maybe you really get to see his the power in his hands and stuff. But he did show he was a well-rounded fighter. So this was a good win for Cesar Oleksiejczuk by unanimous decision, 30-27. And in the co-main event, we had Kevin Vallejos taking on Giga Chikadze. And the first round, Kevin was being super patient. Giga was blasting body kicks. And I'm pretty sure Giga actually won that first round just because how inactive Kevin Vallejos was. But Kevin threw a calf kick, which like split open Giga's shin, and like blood was just leaking down. It reminded me of that fight between Joe Anderson Brito and Jack Shore, but that one was obviously much worse. But there's just blood leaking all down Giga's shin because of that calf kick. He tried to like check in and just like cut open. It was pretty bad, but nothing like fight ending. And then in the second round, I think Kevin countered off of Giga's body kicks. I'm pretty sure, but he threw a nice right hand, and Giga was like backs with the fence, like with his hands up, saying like kind of taunting Kevin, and Kevin goes and just a spinning back fist just knocked down Giga, and as he was falling to the ground, Kevin hit him again, and just landed brutal elbows on the ground. Giga was out cold. Like that's I'm 90% sure. Yeah, that was Giga's first time getting knocked out, and it was in a brutal way. Like this guy got stiffed out cold. I mean, that is a win. That is a great win for Kevin Vallejos. I didn't like his inactivity in the first round, but clearly he was getting reads. And I mean, to be the first person to knock out Giga Chikadze, that's something big for this guy. 17-1, only loss coming to Gene Silva on the Contender Series, I think 2 years ago. This guy he's definitely a top 15 fighter easily. Great, his boxing is so smooth, and this was a great round 2 knockout for Kevin Vallejos. So we'll see what's next for him. And this was a pretty tough matchup against a lengthy, very high skilled kickboxer in Giga, and Kevin just shut that down. So great round 2 knockout for Kevin Vallejos. And then the main event, Brandon Royval and Manal Kape. Kape just showed he's one of the best flyweights in the world, knocking out Brandon Royval in the first round. And he backed up Royval against the fence, used some head movement to get in there, and landed a right hand just straight on the chin of Royval, just turned his head. He went down. It looked like he was out going down, and then Kape woke him up with strikes and then just put him out again. That's the first time Brandon Royval has actually been knocked out before, other than a TKO loss, which was a shoulder injury, I'm pretty sure. But Kape really showed that he's one of the best flyweights in the world, and he deserves a title shot. I don't know who's gonna be next for him. There's quite a few names like Tyra, Van. I forget who else. Obviously, Pantoja is injured, so he's probably gonna be out for a bit. But I don't. Who knows what's next for Kape if he gets a title shot or not? But this was a great performance, and yeah, Brandon did have his moments in this fight. He landed a very clean liver kick to Mel Kape, but other than that, Kape was just faster than him and just really pressuring him the whole time. Royval was just behind that black line like every second of this fight. So this was a great performance, and actually this is the best performance someone had against Brandon Royval before getting a knockout in the first round. Great win from Manal Kape in this main event for a round 1 knockout.